Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm Jason. Sorry, my chair's a bit creaky. I meant to fix that before the stream, but hopefully it won't be too creaky. But tonight I'm going to be doing a tutorial on using LiveLink, something I've been meaning to do for a while, and it's something that I haven't perfected how to use it or all the different possibilities. But I figured, as long as I've learned as much as I have, I might as well share that with everybody. So I'll try to go as far as I can with it and put it through its paces. So I want to at least show how to use LiveLink and how to combine that with like a body animation. Because there's one thing I wanted to say too, which is that I definitely recommend, if you're going to use LiveLink, that you create at least a different level, or maybe not a different level, but different level sequence specifically for creating your LiveLink animations. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's just go ahead and get going here. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is download the app on your iPhone. And so far, it's only for iPhone. I know that there's an Android option out there, I think, that's in development. But I don't think it's actually made by the same company. But I can try to find that and put the link in the description if I find it. So I don't know if it works as well, but because I don't think it uses depth like an iPhone does. But anyway, so this is the app you download. So go ahead and do that. And next thing you want to do before you even launch the app is check your network settings. So this is what it would look like. Let me go over to my PC and I'll show you what I mean. So if you right click down here on the network, you might have a Wi-Fi icon. Just right click on it, click on network and internet settings. And then you might see this, or you might see that icon, and then you might see this, which shows you Wi-Fi and internet or Ethernet. So it depends on whether you have Wi-Fi or Ethernet connection. But if you see Wi-Fi, I'll show you what to click on next. But for me, you click on Ethernet, and I'm going to show you a screenshot because I don't really want to give out my IP address. But anyway, go in there, and this is what you'll see. So either right click on that icon or the Wi-Fi, and then once you've done that, once you've opened up the network settings, and this is on Windows 11. So if you're looking for Windows 10 or a different version, then you might have to go find that out there. But basically, you're just trying to get your IP address. And if you know a way to do that without going in here, that's great. But this is the simple way to do that. So click on, if you got Wi-Fi, click on Wi-Fi. If you got Ethernet, click on Ethernet. So if you're clicking on Wi-Fi, you'll go into this setting. Then you got to click on Properties. And inside Properties, you'll see this. And you want to choose Public, at least for now, because you're going to be using your phone connected to your home Wi-Fi to connect to the PC, and you have to be able to do that. So your phone has to be able to connect to your home network and connect to your PC. So make sure you're on public. Skipping ahead there, and yeah. So just note down your IP address, write it down on something. You're going to use that in the LiveLink app later on. So go ahead and launch LiveLink once you have that IP address. And then you're going to see this when it first launches. And you're going to choose LiveLink at the top. Hit continue. And you'll probably see yourself instead of me. But you'll see this mesh covering over your face on your front-facing camera. And just hit the settings button up in the upper left. And then you're going to select... I would turn off head rotation because it can interfere with the body animation later. It's going to compete because if you're using a body animation that already has neck rotation or head rotation, you can blend them, but it just becomes more complicated. I'd recommend just turning that off just while you learn how to do this. You can play with that later, and I set my frame rate to 60 frames per second, so hopefully you can get away with doing that over your network. You can drop it down if it seems like the performance isn't working very well. But 60 FPS is going to be the best. Then go ahead and click on, under streaming, click on LiveLink. Yours might say iPhone, or it might have a different label, but we're going to change that in a second, depending on what yours is. So once you click on that under streaming, you'll see this screen, and you can change the subject name. So that's what you're going to see when you go to your PC and you're trying to find the connection to your phone, and it'll either be called iPhone, or if you want to name it, whatever your name is, or something just you're going to remember that's easy to identify. It's not just generic, maybe like iPhone. But it's going to be the only one that shows up anyway. So, and then you'll put in your IP address here. So you'll see either what you see here if you've set it up before. You'll see an IP address, and you just have to change it to whatever your computer is that you noted down a few minutes ago. Otherwise, hit add target, and that's where you're going to configure that. And you'll see this. Let's see, I'm already on that one. This is what you're going to see. So you'll have a LiveLink section or edit section. You can put in the IP address. You don't need to put a port. You can just leave that blank. And then, oops, I keep hitting the scroll wheel. So anyway, once you've got that in there, you can just go out of settings and go back to this screen here. And you can just, block your phone or whatever for now, because you're not going to need it at this moment. But once you've got all those settings set, you're good to go. And you should see this live. And by the way, I'm going to go back a little bit because I just want to go over a couple of settings real quick that are not that important in here. But let me go back to the settings. But like the record button, you don't necessarily need that on. That's only if you're going to record something and use it later. And that's something you might want to mess with at a later time. I might make a tutorial on how to do that, to use existing recordings off your iPhone. But you don't necessarily have to have this enabled, but it's kind of nice to be able to record. Oh, sorry about that. I keep scrolling away from the screen. It's nice to be able to record what you're doing on your phone, and then use it later if you want to, instead of doing it live, because you have to rely on your network settings. If if your network settings aren't great and it's bogged down or slow when you're doing it live, then that can be a problem. So doing pre-recorded stuff is kind of nice. The preview mesh, you really need that because you need to be able to see that it's tracking your face. That's the thing that overlays on your face. You definitely want that enabled. So I just wanted to mention that. I forgot to highlight those, but they're not super important. You can leave the record button off. You don't need that on. So, and that's it on that. So let's move on to, I think that's it. Let me just make sure I'm on track here. Document the IP address. Yeah, turning off head rotation. Definitely, I recommend that. All right. Stream name. Okay, let's just go ahead and we'll create a project. I'm using 5.5.1, which is the latest version, and I've had some crashes, so I probably hesitate to upgrade to that. Maybe just keep 5.5 if you can, but definitely upgrade to 5.5 if you're on 5.4, because some of the stuff won't work as well. You can still do the LiveLink stuff, but definitely like the audio to the lip sync is not enabled in 5.4. So let me see here. Let's just call this LiveLink. All right. I've only been doing like a stream a month, and I feel like I'm super out of practice with it. I've been kind of lazy lately and been very tired. So sorry if I'm kind of struggling a bit tonight, but I'll do my best. So I had a guy ask me about LiveLink earlier today in relation to the lip sync video that I've done, and it's something I've been meaning to do a tutorial on for a while, and I kind of had an idea how I wanted to do it, and I figured I would just kind of get it going, and I know enough to teach a little bit. So, all right, let's see. Okay, so in here, we've got to enable a couple plugins. Let's see, let me make sure that's the first thing we need to do. Yeah, I guess we do. So if we go up to Edit and then Plugins, and let's see, yeah. So I'm going to go off camera actually for a minute here so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, I may go on camera again just to kind of demonstrate a couple things, but so what you really need is the AR kit. You need both these AR kit plugins. I chose the film project, So the film blank for my project setting, and it may already enable that automatically, but if you chose like a game project or something, you might have to go in here and enable these. I don't need to do that because I already did. But and then the other one is just X out of here and go to MetaHuman and just check the box for that. We'll be bringing MetaHumans in here. I don't actually think the plugin's totally necessary, but I always enable it because I've had problems if I don't sometimes. So you might as well just enable it. And probably gonna have to restart the project anyway. So let's see what else we want to do here. Enable MetaHuman plugin. Yeah, we can just go ahead and restart now. So once you've enabled all those, hold off on restarting until you enable all 3 of them. So it's restart. This is really fun to mess around with. I am trying to learn how to do keyframe animations like by hand, just so I understand how that works. But definitely doing motion capture is a good way to go. Definitely gets helps you cut some corners and get things done a little quicker. So just wanted to check something. Yeah, okay. Apple ARKit and Apple ARKit face support. Those are the ones we want. Just making sure. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and import a MetaHuman. I've already got one downloaded, so you probably do too. So just go to add Quixel content, and I'm just going to do from the local ones that I have. I'm not going to give instruction on how to do this because I've been doing that every time. I feel like it's going overboard, but yeah, let's see. I'll just do the normal Simone and hoodie. Or actually, let's just pull JP in here. So JP is kind of my doppelganger, like a younger version of me, sort of. But in the show, he'll actually look even more like me. So I'll add him. I'll start with him. You can actually do the same animation on multiple characters all at the same time, if you wanted to. If you have a reason for that, I might show that just for fun. I'll import Simone in here too, because I like Simone to be in all my videos. Okay, so we'll do import. Actually, which one? This one's JP. It's always a bit slow when you're doing this part. There we go. And I got to import Simone. Go. And then we'll have to restart again because it's going to have a plugin that's missing. I think it only does the one pop-up because when you enable that ARKit, it installs the other plugins where you normally have another pop-up there, but you should probably only see one when you add the MetaHumans after you've installed the ARKit. So just hit Save Selected when it prompts you, and go ahead and let it restart. Possible we'll have to restart one more time. I'm hoping not, but when we go into the blueprint for the MetaHumans, it sometimes will force you to restart. I don't feel like it's necessary for me to make a project for each time I do this, but I feel like I don't want anybody to miss something and feel like they're being left out of like part of the tutorial. That's the way I always felt when I would watch a tutorial halfway through. They would already have a lot of it set up, and I felt like maybe they were not showing me certain things, so it shouldn't take too long. All right, let's see. We'll start with JP. So just go into your MetaHuman, double click on the blueprint before you drag it in, especially if you don't see the thumbnail for it. Yep, there we go. There's that other one I was looking for. So it's one more set of plugins that have to be enabled. Okay, well, I'll just enable missing and see if it forces me to restart. Yep, tried a different one that was you could use any video to produce the motion capture, but it only works with animating in Blender. And it didn't. I tried it in Unreal, and it was very jittery. It wasn't very good. But if somebody out there wants to play with that, I'll still put a link in the description just so people have that as an option. But it's really not. I'm going to put a disclaimer on there that it's not the best. But if somebody wants to use Blender to create their animations, they could do that. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good here. All right, got our thumbnail, and I'm going to click on Simone too, just to make sure that something doesn't have to install for her. But we should be good. Okay, so next thing is create a level sequence, and we'll add them to it. And then we're going to animate them. This will be a pretty quick tutorial. I mean, I'm already 3/4 of the way through it here. This is setting it up as the majority of it. It's pretty quick, so we can mess with some stuff. All right, so she's opening fine. Let's just get them both dragged into the scene here. Now we'll reset their positions here, their transforms. Okay, actually I'm going to put them both at 140 degrees, which is what I usually do with a new level, since it's they're always facing away from the sun. All right, zoom in on there. Okay, I don't know why, but the film level is always 20 degrees too high on the z-axis. I don't know what the deal is with that. You always have to reset that. Okay. All right. That's probably good. I'm going to zoom in on their face a little bit. Actually, I'm going to move her back a little. Oops, wrong thing. Set pivot offset here. That's a little handy trick, by the way, if you ever are zoomed in on something and you need not the pivot point, but like the little gizmo to show up in the frame without having to zoom out. You can change it to, you just right click on wherever you want that gizmo to be and go to set or pivot, and then set pivot offset here. It only does it temporarily, just for that single time. Kind of a good thing. All right. One other thing I'm going to do just real quick before I get too far along here is, I meant to do this before, is always go into your LOD settings, sync settings, if you're doing cinematics. And if you don't have if it's not set this way already, just change your forced LOD to 0 on these characters, especially when you're doing this, because you're zooming in and out, and I guess it doesn't really impact the animation, but it's still annoying to have their hair disappear and stuff. The other thing too is turn on real time. If their hair is disappearing, make sure to turn on real time. If you have the real time off thing, hit Control R or turn that off, because their hair will disappear even if you have LOD set to 0, because of the real time being disabled. I don't know why I keep doing that. I only need to go into here and then change this to 0. So it's, click on the LOD sync on the left and then change forced LOD to 0. I'm sure people know how to do that. Hopefully, I don't know. We do now, hopefully. All right, so let's do this. So I'm just going to open a new level sequence from here. You can do it however you want. I just always go here. It's just quick. So click on Add Level Sequence from this clapper. We'll just call it LiveLink. And I'll create a folder called SEQ, just good habits. Save it in there. All right, I'm just going to do Control-Shift-S and just save, because this whole process can just be very crashy. It can definitely crash. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's just add them both in here. So I'm just going to do one at a time. Just click on one of them, do Control-A, which will add them to the sequencer. And then you really only need to delete the face control rig. So definitely just go ahead and highlight the face control rig and hit delete. And we'll add Simone too. And I'll also delete her face control rig. Body control rig doesn't matter. Actually, we'll delete that too. Just delete both control rigs because we're going to be adding a body animation that's just a baked sequence, not a control rig sequence. So we'll just leave that clean like that. And then we'll go ahead and select. Actually, I'm going to show you on camera real quick what I'm going to be doing. Okay. I've got this thing. It's just like a little tripod thing. And I got my phone in there, which I recommend you get something like this. I got this enclosure really cheap on Amazon. I should put the link in the description too. I don't know if it's still cheap, but anyway, I don't know if you can even see my face, but you'll see on your screen if you've got the LiveLink app open. You'll see yourself, and with the mesh over it, I'm just going to set it up here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And actually, I'm not going to set it up here yet, but I just wanted to show you what that was in, because I need to actually do some settings first. So that's what my phone is in, and I definitely recommend having something that's, if you got a head rig, that would be great, or if you got a tripod, you can put it on onto your desk. It's just the facial animation you're capturing, so having it stationary is still helpful, but you don't need to have a huge amount of space to do this part. I'm just going to do that so sure his face isn't glistening. All right, so, well, actually I need him selected. So character selected, once they're in the sequencer like this, you're going to click on one of them, and this is where you're going to select your iPhone. Mine's just called iPhone, so whatever yours is called. But it's on this ARC. Just check this box for use ARC. ARKit. God, it looks like ARKit, but it's ARKit. Face. Check the box for that. We'll do the same for Simone. So select her, select iPhone, check the box. Okay. I don't have the app open, so that's why their faces aren't moving. But as long as you've got your character in the sequencer and you've deleted the control rigs, you have to do that in order for this to start working, then they'll start doing whatever you do. So so then the next thing is to record it. I'm going to go off screen here and just start recording myself, and you'll be able to see them still. So the way to do that is all you really do is select each character. So you have to do them one at a time. You can't record, I don't think, to both tracks, but I can show you later how you can add the animation to any character. So it doesn't matter that it's not recording to both of them at the same time. Or it might. Actually, we'll find out. I'm not sure if it'll record to both at the same time. I haven't tried this yet with two characters at once. So, but just go ahead and click anywhere on one of the characters. Probably click on the face section on one of them. That's fine. It's just that will allow the record button to show up down here in the lower left. So I'm going to unselect his. Actually, I think if I just have him selected, because otherwise his face has got the outline stuff on it. You can't see it very well. And my lighting isn't very good, but I'm just kind of doing really extreme facial expressions. It even works with my glasses and stuff. But okay, so just hit record and just hit record again when it pops up. Ha ha ha. I am now recording. Doing silly facial expressions. Wow, wow. And it auto-saved halfway through it. That's always fun. It's not picking up a lot of stuff because of something I didn't do is, and that's okay because this is just for demonstration purposes anyway, but what I meant to say is that you can extend this recording as long as you want. So this is only 195, I think, frames, or that's the length of it. You could go like 500 or something like that. I wouldn't go too crazy with it because it will crash if you go too far. But you can extend this to whatever length it is how long it'll record for. So if you move this red endpoint out, it'll record for that length. But I don't need to do that. It's just supposed to be a short little thing anyway. And I can always repeat it. So anyway, yeah, so that's recorded. And I'm not demonstrating like how to capture audio in this by the way. I probably should have mentioned that, because there's not a need for that. Like you're not going to be recording yourself talking like you might have had to in the past, because you can just use the audio to lip sync feature of 5.5, and it does a way better job of the lip sync than this can do. This is really just for facial expressions. So just a quick pointer on that. You may still want to do it that way, but I'm not going to instruct on that because I'm never going to do it that way. So, but yeah, it's not necessary. You can definitely do the audio to lip sync, and I do have a tutorial on that. I'm just going to I'll just click on this little cogwheel here, and I think this is maybe as a new feature, but collapse all nodes, just because it takes up so much space. But yeah, it didn't record to Simone, which is fine. That's I didn't expect it to. But what you definitely want to do is you can preview it in here and just kind of check it out and see how it did. And it did a pretty good job. I have a beard and I have glasses on. It's kind of dark in here, so it didn't do the greatest job ever, but it works pretty good. I mean, even when it's dark. So, but anyway, I don't recommend trying to add anything to this mix right now. Like if you want to do atom animation, body animation, it will crash. It will separate the head from the body. It will crash. It'll do all kinds of crazy stuff. And in fact, I'm going to hit Control-Shift-S and save. That's why I say you probably want to have a sequencer just for this purpose, just for doing your recordings. And when you do your recordings, if you go into the content drawer and go into, let's see, developer, where is it? Is it common? You know what's weird is it's not showing the animations in the same place as it did last time. Oh yeah, sorry. I was looking in the wrong place. So it saves it into your sequence folder, it looks like, into a subfolder called animation. So my sequence folder was called something else last time, so I was looking in the wrong place. But anyway, it saves it in there. You can always let's see, can you search for it? I guess you can. I don't know if that's really useful. But yeah, it's going to save it into your wherever your sequence is saved. So if your sequence, your level sequence is in your main content folder. So let's say this level sequence was up in here, then it will create an animation folder wherever that sequence file is. So that's why this animation folder is here. So and that's where it stores the recording. And this is all, I don't know why it has this feet here. It's kind of interesting. I never actually looked at this. For some reason it records his feet too. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. But the only thing that we really care about is the face animation. So you can go to it there, go into the animation folder, double click on the face animation, and you'll see the movements that it made and stuff. And just close out of that. And then let me just catch up on my checklist to make sure I'm not missing something, because I already missed something. Select the face, click record. Yeah, so from here, you can export it. This is where I would export the FBX. I wouldn't try to do it from the sequencer. You can do that. You can bake it to an animation sequence and stuff, but it's not necessary. It's already created an animation sequence. You can just export that. So as long as you previewed it, make sure that's the right one. Right click on it and go to Asset Actions, Export, and then whatever you want to name it, I'll just name it, that's fine. And I'll hit save on that, and it saves the FBX. You can just leave the default settings, reset to defaults, hit export. So now you save the FBX somewhere that you can use for future projects. If that, whatever facial expressions you did in that scene, you want to use any of that for a future project or future character. And so from here, as long as you know you're done with this messing around with this one, this is non-destructive. You can I would just delete JP out of the sequencer entirely. In fact, I'll delete Simone out of there too. I'll just clear it out. You can either do that or just create a new level sequence where you're going to actually use to animate, because this was strictly for creating the lip sync, not lip sync, but the LiveLink animations. So now that we've done that, I'm happy with that. That's really good animation. I'm going to use that I would not, like I said, I would not, let me actually, I'm going to demonstrate why it is that you don't want to do, you don't want to animate. You don't want to add animations to this. Like even if you clear out all these extra ones, which are blank, the only one you need is face, and actually there's body in there. Did I delete body? Yeah, sorry. If you left face and body and everything else is unnecessary to be in here, just delete that out of there. Torso, we don't need that. So let's say you had this LiveLink animation that you created here, and it added the keyframes into here, or added the sequence into here, and then you added a body animation, and might as well install the or add the content pack for the Manny character, so we can get those animations, just so I can add a body animation. So just go to your content drawer and add the third person content pack, and do that. All right, and then while I'm in here, I'm just going to go into here, go into the Manny folder. So down, characters, mannequins, animations, Manny. Right click on one of the animations and do retarget animations. And then we'll go to JP. Go to his body, and then I'm going to sort this out, filter this out. And it's under MM, just these ones. I have tutorials on how to do this. That's why I'm not telling you how to do it. And then export that. We'll just go into his body folder and do RT anims. Manny. So these are the retargeted ones for JP export. Just powering through this part because it's not really, it's just for demonstration. I'll close that, close that. Okay, so now let's say you've got you got the body animations in here, and you wanted to add it in, and you do it the normal way. You hit the plus sign here on the body, go to animation, and let's just do like run, and click on that one. Instantly, the head pops out, which is a problem that really existed mainly in 5.4 and before. It does still exist in 5.5, but only under certain circumstances. And one of the reasons for this is I think it has to do with, actually, I don't know. I don't think I ever really completely figured it out. But the thing is if you go ahead and you delete JP out of here, and then you just add them back in, and then delete the control rigs again, and then do the body animation, or sorry, then do the face animation. So if you hit the plus sign on the face for JP and you go to animation, it's going to have that LiveLink face animation that we made in there, because it automatically assigns it to his skeleton. So all you have to do is hit the plus sign here and go to that animation, and then let's just move this back into place here. And you can see it's the same animation, but the difference is that it's reset his bones, or whatever it is that the problem is. It's reset the his skeleton, essentially. So his head, his neck position, and his body position. And so then now you can hit the plus sign on body and go to animation, and same run animation. And now it's actually aligned. So that's the problem with trying to use those ones fresh after you recorded them into the sequencer. But you can just use the baked sequence that exists, if you add them back in there. I hope that makes sense. So now he's, making those facial expressions while he's running. So now we've got him doing that. Let's put this on a loop. So down here, click on this icon, so it changes it to a loop, and he's just going to be running. All right, we've got Simone here. Let's just add the same facial expressions to her, just so you can see how that works. So, and she's got nothing. So I'm just going to go plus, and then hit body, and we'll do. All right, actually, I'm just going to re-add her in here because I think something glitched out. It should have created another track for her, but it didn't. So I'm just delete her out of there. Control A to add her back in. Delete her control rigs. I don't know if anybody's noticed out there, but Unreal Engine's kind of glitchy. I can't blame it because it does so many damn things, but yeah, learning where the glitches are. And one thing I could say is, as with everything, restart. If you have a glitch that just doesn't seem like it has ever happened before, save the project, close Unreal, restart the engine. It just doesn't seem like it's happening the way it did last time, especially with face animations and combining them with body animations. All right, so we can add the same face animation to her. So if you go to animation, you can see here, if you hit the plus sign next to face and you go to animation, you'll see the same JP animation, face animation, because it actually attaches the animation to the metahuman. I forget what it's called, but it's like a base skeleton or base head. And let's see, does it say game SEO animation? Yeah, it's this skeleton face archetype, which is for, I guess, all metahumans. So since it attaches it to every metahuman, then you can use the animation on anyone that's inside this project. So I'll click on that one, and there it is. She's got the same stuff going on there. And I'll add the same body animation for her too. And then they'll be just doing the exact same thing. Plus sign next to body, animation. I haven't actually retargeted the running to her, so I'm going to do that. Let's go back into here. Manny. We'll retarget the animations to her now. All right. Sort that. And I know I'm going super fast on all this stuff. It's just that I've had some people suggest that I stick to what I'm trying to teach specifically, which I think is a fairly good suggestion. I feel that way sometimes when I watch a tutorial and they're showing me things that I didn't really tune in for. But it's all kind of part of it. So, but I don't want to spend too long on stuff that I've shown before. Okay, so I've retargeted to her and do the same thing. I'll do a walk animation with her though, and we'll do in place. Just extend it out like that. Okay. All right. I have no idea if anybody's tuned in, by the way. I can't monitor that because of my phone's being used for something else. So, hi everybody, if anybody's there. So I'm not sure if you can really tell it's the same animation because they're doing two different things. So let me just have them do the exact same thing. That was an oops. Oh, I guess I was doing the right thing. Let's do run. I think that was the same run. Oops. There we go. Oh, hey. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, I really wasn't sure if anybody was here or not. I kind of wish that that OBS would show how many people are in chat. As far as I know, there's no way to do that. I have to have it open on my phone or something. But so anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to show with this. What's on my list? So combined body and face animations. The head popping out thing still can be fixed by doing actor hidden in game. So if you or you have to have a character selected, and then actually it's just type in hidden and check the box for hidden in game and uncheck it. So if for some reason the head won't pop back in there, it's going to crash. Yep, that's what it did last time. Anyway, hopefully you won't have to do that because it seems to be crashing every time I do that now. So maybe that's not a good thing. But if the head pops out, even after you do the steps that I told you where you add the character back in, you add the animations back in, and the head still is popping out, you'll either have to do the hidden in game or restart the engine. I'm just going to skip restore, or follow the tutorial that I have out there for how to prevent it from popping out in the first place. Because it's in the past, at least, I had to do the spaces between the animations. If there was a face animation layered on top of a body animation, and then there was a space between one of those animations, it wouldn't know how to calculate where the neck and body are supposed to line up. So as long as you fill all the spaces, then it works. But okay, well, that was basically it. I lost the Simone animation. That's fine. That's essentially it on that. And then if you wanted to layer like lip sync on top of this, I could try that. Where are we at? 44 minutes. It's not really what this tutorial was supposed to be, but I wouldn't mind experimenting with that a little bit. It may not be successful, but it would be worth trying. So basically changing, he'll still have the facial expression, but then we'll also add lip sync to the mix. So let's see, do I even have let me see if I have any voice stuff for him. I probably have something. If I don't, I think I have something for Simone. So let's go to just find anything. I don't know. I'm sure I've got something laying around here. Actually processing probably, or yeah. Okay, we'll do Simone's voice because I have one that's kind of similar for her, or it's not really her voice, but it's close enough. All right, so let's add her animations back, assuming that they actually are still here. That's face. Okay, that's fine. Oops. Nope, I selected body. That was my mistake. Face is what I wanted. It can't animate the face onto the body very well, I don't think. There we go. Okay. Let's zoom in on her. Okay. So let's just see what she looks like doing her thing. And I'll go ahead and add the, I don't know if she has any animations that might, did it save? Let's find out. Yeah, it did. Okay, good. I'll just do walking, just so she's not leaned over. Oh, okay. This is what I'm talking about. It gets to the end of the animation and it doesn't know how to align her body anymore. So let's see if this crashes it. Actor hidden in game. Okay, that fixed it. So just check it and uncheck it for actor. Oops, crashed. I can always tell it's crashing. It just does that every time now. So you're going to struggle with it, especially with 5.5.1. It's just, I don't know. They still have some work to do on. There's actually I'll show you once it loads, but inside the actor blueprint, there's or the character blueprint, there's a neck alignment. I don't even know what it is. It's just some sort of configuration setting that they added to all the MetaHuman blueprints that's supposed to fix that issue with the neck popping out ever, but it still happens anyway. I'm not sure why. I am going to create something that where I can zoom in right on their face somehow. Maybe there's a shortcut to do that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and add that run or walk in here. Let's do in place. Okay. All right, and then so to do the audio to face thing, we're gonna go. I'm just gonna put it in her MetaHuman folder here. I'll put it in face. Let's create a folder called move my keyboard over. Whatever. It's called new folder. That's fine. Okay. I'm just gonna import the. I normally create subfolders, but I'm just kind of like trying something out. So let's see. Add it here. How long is this? This is probably pretty short, so that should be okay. I don't really know what this is, but we'll find out. That works. Okay, and then we'll just so you import the audio, and then MetaHuman Animator, and then we're going to MetaHuman Performance, and I'll just call this layer test. This may not work very well, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It is like a minefield. It's all part of the fun, right? It'd be too easy otherwise. So easy. All right. So anyway, you're in here. You're in the MetaHuman Performance thing. Click select audio. I have a tutorial on this if anybody's wondering how to do this. And then I think it's 11 labs. So I'll just go to here. Select that one. It seems to be selecting the face control board by default, but I always end up typing face in here and selecting the top one. I don't know if that matters. I should test and see if that matters. It probably doesn't. And then where's my character? Oh, visualization mesh is Simone's head. So let's click on that. Let's check the box here and say never show me that again. Okay. Okay, I don't know why I hit play on that. I needed to hit process. Now I can hit play. So you hit process first, and then you can hit play just to make sure it plays okay, and then hit export animation, and I'll just put it in the same folder, and that's fine. And then in here, change this to Simone again, and to her head mesh. You probably could put it on the archetype. That probably would be fine. In fact, I'm going to try that, because then it's available for any MetaHuman in this. Not that it necessarily needs to be, but I think it's fine to do that. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Okay, so we've done that. This is all just an experiment anyway. I'm going to save. Okay, and then I'm going to do it the way I know how to do it for now, and then I might try the layering option if I can. Actually, I think that's with control rig. So, but let's click on the face plus sign next to face and animation, and then it's what was it called? 11 labs, or no, it's called AS. Oops, AS. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not going to be available then. Huh. Okay. That did not work. Except I'm clicking on the wrong character, or am I? No, I'm not. Okay. I guess archetype doesn't work. So that's live and learn. All right. I thought I would try that because it does work when you're doing the facial expressions, but obviously it doesn't work when you're doing the lip sync. So I'm just going to delete that and reopen this and reprocess it or re-export it out. So I think I can just hit export animation on here actually. and then hit save, and then choose her instead. Okay. That hopefully will work better. Maybe all I had to do is retarget that archetype one to her, but that seems like it's an extra step for no reason. So, okay, so we'll go here. Yep, there it is. Let's grab I'll grab the audio in here too. Throw it in here. Or actually, yeah, can I do? I'll just add audio and do that. Add audio track. Okay, so you just want to make sure that the playhead is where you want the animation to start and that the audio is lined up and everything. So it's not working yet because we got to change the weights. So essentially, she can't talk and do those big, wide mouth expressions. So we're gonna have to turn the weights down quite a bit. So I'm not sure how good this will work, but I just wanted to try it and see what would happen. Let's find out. I'm gonna actually do a duplicate of this, just so she repeats herself. There we go. Saving. Okay. So if I turn this weight down to like 0.1 on the, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. This is on the LiveLink one I want to change the weight on. So it will prioritize the mouth movements for the talking. So now the face animation, the talking is prioritized at 1, and the facial expressions is less priority. And I don't know if people can really hear that very well, but the lip sync's great, but you're not really seeing much facial expression. So we might have to like up it to, and it's a balancing act. So yeah. So, and there may not be a way to do it. The only way you probably could do it successfully is to bake this to a control rig. So what you do is you bake the, do I have time to show that? I might as well. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to bake this to a control rig and change the keyframes for just her mouth. And that should take care of the problem here, because then we don't have to change the weights. We just show facial expression from her nose up and show lip sync animation from her nose down. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So, all right, what do I want to do here? I'm just going to delete that out of here for now. Let's see. What do I want to do? I'm just going to get rid of all of the animation sequences out of here. So this is how I would do it if I'm trying to actually make progress on my project instead of just goofing around. Yeah, okay, it's probably going to crash again. I'm going to just try closing the sequencer and reopening it. And I'll hide her. All right, much less likely to crash if you do it that way, I think. Let's open the sequencer back up. Okay, there we go. All right. I don't need that extra animation track. All right, so let's go with, we'll delete the animation tracks entirely because we're going to do control rigs now. So if you hit the plus sign next to her character name, and then we're going to go to, sorry, where is it? Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong place. Click on body, and then click on control rig, and then MetaHuman control rig. And then, okay, there we go. And then do the same with face. I don't think the body probably didn't matter that much, but anyway. So plus sign next to face, and then control rig, and then face control rig, control board. I'm going to save. Okay, next thing is to right click on the, right click on the, I'm trying to think of how I would want to do this. So the control rig, you want to right click on that track and then go to import anim sequence, and then we'll do the talking on this one. So select the talking one, which is the AS, or what does that stand for? I can't remember. Anyway, it's the AS one. That's what is that? What is that for? Animation sequence? It is animation sequence. Okay, sorry. I'm not real great with acronyms. So, all right. So let's just right click on the face one and import, and it's this top one here, and then bake to control rig. So now it creates the keyframes, and I'm just going to shorten this up so it's not having to kick her, where her head pops out again. Saving. So that's kind of a really great way of baking an existing animation sequence to the control rig so that you can mess with the keys. And so, so then we'll add, and I haven't done this before, so this is really an experiment. If I hit the plus sign here, is that what I want? There's a way to layer animations that is brand new. It looks similar to the old way of doing additive, or I'm going to try it. I don't know if that's actually the right thing, but so if you do additive and then right click on this track, and then we're going to go to the LiveLink one and bake to control rig. Okay, but that's good though, because the upper part of her face is expressing while the lower part of her face is sort of trying to talk, but we can fix it. So let's go to jaw. It's really the main one, I think, is jaw. And that's, so if you click on the one that you want to delete the keys from, that's the easiest way to do this. There's lots of easier ways that I don't know, but this is the way I know how to do it right now, which is to select the control rig that you want to delete the keys from and hit this isolate track button. And it's not working. Why is it not working? Maybe I have to drill down a little bit further. Oh, well, that's not helpful. Okay, well, let's find out what happens. All right, so I supposedly have isolated that. It doesn't seem to be isolating like it normally does. Not sure why. Actually, I'm going to show all, and I'm going to try to isolate just her face. It's a little better, but I don't want to affect this one. So I wonder if I can rename this. Display name. Let's call this, put a 2 at the end so we know which one's which, assuming it'll let me do that. There we go. It might help. Oh no, it didn't. They're all called 2 now. Oh, okay. Dang. All right. That's okay. Whatever. Let's just search for jaw. see what we can figure out. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why I needed to overcomplicate things. Tend to do that. So anyway, as long as you know which one's which, so definitely the bottom one is the one for her facial expressions. The top one is for her talking. So I'm just going to get rid of the keys so now you've done a search by jaw, and I'm just going to delete all the keys. So select them all, delete them. Now it should just be facial expressions on top and talking on the bottom, but there's going to be some other factors here that I didn't take into account, like that. There's other parts of the face besides the jaw that affect talking. So
this water feels too real to be in the pixelverse.
Lovely. All right. Well, what else have we got? Let's see. What else can we look at here? Um, I mean, chin obviously will play a factor. There's much better ways to do this, I'm positive, but I'm not familiar with them, and I'm just playing around right now. So, um, oh, well, mouth. That would explain that. Mouth, yeah. All the mouth ones need to go that are in this second and all this. Okay, so that could explain all of it, I hope. So just delete all the ones with mouth and jaw for sure. Oh. A lot for mouth. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see if that makes any difference.
This water feels too real to be in the pixel.
So, not sure what I did or didn't do. But what I could do is, now that we've got the correct ones deleted, I'm just going to delete this entirely. Let's see what... Ah, okay. So her jaw is open. That's the problem. So we'll go to jaw. These all need to be zeroed out. So that was an oops. And maybe it's not so bad. What else are we going to have? I don't know why her mouth is still open like that, but let's just go to the control board and see if I can... And one good thing is you can go into the control board and just click on an area and it will highlight it, just to show you where in here it's what it's selecting. And it's not really doing that there, but let's see. Maybe it's just this. Nope. Oh, shoot. Not, oh, well, it's got to be that. Is it that? No. Weird. Oh, I'm in world space. Make sure you're in local when you're adjusting this kind of stuff. I forgot about that, but let's see. But it's still not helping anyway. So, Well, anyway, let's see what happens when I add the animation back. I mean, it's definitely not going to work, but maybe it'll work a little bit better. Well, yeah.
This water feels too real to be in the pixelverse.
Funny.
This water feels too real to be in the...
Yeah, something I'm missing here, but it was an experiment, so I thought I'd give it a try. I don't know enough about layering animations like this to teach on it. I just wanted to experiment and have fun with it. So that's really all this was. So sorry if anybody was trying to learn something from this, but yeah, I seem to keep doing this experimentation during a tutorial, but it's fun. So what the hell, I don't care. It's like if people want to tune out, they can just not watch the second half of this. I probably should have given a better disclaimer before I started doing this.
This water feels too...
It's definitely closer though. but there for some reason her jaw is too far open. I feel like I'm so close to figuring it out though. Like, God, I should just try. I'm not gonna give up. Why don't those slide? What am I missing? Oh, okay. Well, that's part of it. Part of the reason why it's not showing me what I thought it would. Mouth lower lip to press. Oh, okay. Stretch. Neck swallow. What else we got in this area? Ear, pupil, brow, mouth. There's more mouth? No. Eyelashes, nose, mouth. No. I've already done all the mouth ones, so it's not mouth. It's still something to do with her jaw or her cheeks or something. Convergence switch. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh, is that it? No. Okay. Anybody who's not interested in this, feel free to just tune out. I'll probably trim this off when I can edit it on YouTube. Unless I end up having success, then I might as well keep it in there, but it's pretty dumb. Let's see, tongue to press. Mouth, that's all mouth too. Huh. I don't know. I'm obviously missing some keys that in here that are competing with it. Cheek. Oh, could that be it? Cheek rise. Let me try cheek. See how many cheek things we have. Because I think that could be competing.
This water feels too real.
Nope. Still her jaw.
This water feels too real.
Doesn't make any sense to me why that's not working at this point, but that's fine. If I figure out a way, I'll share it somehow. I'm not sure how, maybe in the comments of the video. But so you can layer these types of animations and change the weights and stuff. And I just haven't learned how to do that. But as soon as I do, I will do a tutorial on it. But that's the basics on how to do LiveLink motion capture for a face, and then export it as an FBX and import it back into the sequence and add it to a different character and that kind of stuff. It was a little bit all over the place, but anyway, I hope somebody out there gets something out of it. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll try to have my crap together a little bit better next time and not be also all over the place. But it's all part of the learning process for me and hopefully for other people. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time.